Let's now catch up with Nqobile Madlala, who is at the border post. Nqobile, a good morning to you. As we wrapped up the week, there was a sense that some movement was taking place at that border post. Just how much movement is taking place at this point?
Well, we do know that there's a slow processing of the trucks, Naledi. And this is very important, mainly because from the South African side, they've been very ready to ensure that the trucks can be processed to go into Mozambique. But in the Mozambican side, it's slower, mainly because they're still gearing up. This is after the fact that their infrastructure was broken into and that they had to source and get new things to use in terms of ensuring that they can process the cargo. But they are definitely now working. We have seen more trucks going inside the border. And even those that are driving were also saying that it's a relief now. They've been stuck in the trucks for quite some time. So this is a relief for them. But whilst all of that is taking place, you will know that there are also places where these truck drivers or the owners and so on would generally go to places to sleep. But also the visitors that are deciding to go into Mozambique or come to South Africa would generally use places like hotels and so on to use as a place to sleep. But when something like this occurs, that also affects those areas. And that's why now we're at the boutique hotel in Ecolux to speak to the director. And we know that you obviously have business that has to work, but when you have a border that's closed, how does it affect you, Vanya?
Definitely affects our business. The passing trade we rely heavily on. The restaurants got almost no feet at the moment, and our accommodation is also down. So, and the town's like a little bit of a ghost town at the moment. There's just the passing trade feeds all the companies in this town on a daily basis. So yes, it's definitely played its role negatively on our business.
And we know that you provide accommodation both in South Africa and Mozambique. Talk to me about the importance of the border then to continue working.
Well, in Mozambique, we're also a boutique hotel, just 30 kilometers north of Maputo, and attracts a lot of South African visitors to Mozambique. And we market both cross-border, bush-to-beach travel. So, and at the moment, the hotel's semi-closed. Staff can't get to work. The fear of traveling on the roads, getting to work and back. So, you know, we're running on skeleton staff. But yes, it's impacting heavily on both businesses, both sides of the borders.
And if you had your say, what would you say should happen?
Well, I'm not very good at politics, but yes, fair politics is always better than unfair politics. So hopefully they can sort out their problems, open the borders, and everything can be done peacefully, and we can get back to normal. Yes. Business as usual.
Yeah. And Vanya, you were telling me that when this started, you were on the other side of Mozambique, and you had to come this side of South Africa. How was that experience?
Well, we could feel the tension rising because there was a lot in the media and people saying, you know, shut your doors, close your, you know, don't travel, don't be on the roads. We went shopping the day before we returned to South Africa, which I think was the Thursday, before I think they really started shutting down on the Friday. And the shelves were empty, so whether people were stockpiling or whether deliveries hadn't taken place, fresh produce was almost non-existing in both ShopRite as well as Woolworths, which we went to. So you could definitely feel the impact then already. And we decided, you know, we're elderly couples, so we decided rather to be on the safe side and come back to South Africa. And we packed up and it was like dead quiet. There wasn't any traffic on the road. You could see businesses that closed their doors. Very little cars, no trucks. As we got closer to the border, there was still a bit of movement going on as far as the trucks and so on. But it definitely had already started slowing down just based on the rumors that there was going to be some action taking place.
All right. Thank you for speaking to us, Vanya, and we do hope that you get more customers. But I want to show you, lady, so a place like this will then be affected, mainly because they require guests to come and spend their time in these areas. But when there's no traffic, then it makes it quite difficult. And that's what Vanya is speaking about, that it was much more safer to be at home than to be on the other side because they were not sure what was going to happen. But in an area like this, then you do require a bit of traffic to come in. And and I'm sure you can see it's beautiful indeed. But we are expecting then that there will be more people that are coming in, especially now that we have seen that the cargo is now moving. We do know that the authorities, though, are still discouraging South Africans to move towards Mozambique. We are expecting also that BMA will give us an update in terms of what is the way forward today.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that update. Nqobile Madlala there, speaking to us close to the border there for South Africa and Mozambique, near the Lebombo border post in Komatipoort, where things